Hi, it's Jessie. My last video didn't record sound for some reason, so I'm coming back with a do-over, but I had to freshen up because, I woke up feeling horrible, but God turned my day around. And I just wanted to testify to his goodness. Whenever God turns something around, it's always a miracle. And when Jesus, when he healed people, he always told them, you know, go and show people what the Lord has done for you. Give God the glory. Go and tell people. So I have to come up here and I have to tell you how my day started and where I'm at now, okay? Um, this morning when I woke up, you know, um, I only had about this much milk left in the gallon, 2 eggs, and very little butter left. And everyone knows you can't prepare a meal without at least milk, eggs, and butter. It goes in everything, right? So I was like grieved in my spirit, and I went to a food pantry hoping that they could help me, but they didn't carry those kind of things. All they had was like cereal and hamburger helper and, cans of vegetables and cans of spaghetti sauce. So I got those things there and I was very grateful. But I came home still upset, still crying because I still didn't have my milk and my eggs and my butter, and I was about out of bread. And I was praying to God and really crying out to him, and he put it on me to go to the grocery store and just ask the manager for a discount. So I obedience. I went to the grocery store and I asked the manager for a discount, and the manager said no. He said he does his charitable contributions to the food pantry, and he gave me the address of a food pantry that's not open until Tuesday. So I was crushed, but I've been spending my daughter's allowance money for groceries. And we had a few dollars left. I was gonna go ahead and get the little bit of salami so I can make them a few more lunches, and the milk, and then everything else, trust God to provide. And I'm walking through the store and I'm going, God help me, God help me. And this man comes up to me and he says he overheard me in the front, and can he buy me groceries? And this man, he was so kind. His name was David. And I was like, wow, that's kind of biblical, because David slayed Goliath, and here David is slaying my hunger Goliath, my hunger giant. So I was incredibly grateful. And he was like, what do you need? And so I'm like, milk, eggs, butter, bread, some fruit. And so he's like, okay, I got a gallon of milk. He's like, no, get more. He got me 4 gallons of milk. He got me 2 bags of potatoes, 3 loaves of bread, 2 boxes of butter, 3 cartons of eggs, and snacks for my kids, and some frozen pizza stuff that my kids like to eat. And oh my God, this man, he was so amazingly kind. He was like, he's got an appointment. He's got an appointment. He has to go. He has to go. So we have to hurry. But he wants to buy my food. So get what I need. And he wants to make sure I have enough to last me. And I couldn't help but think, on God and how good he is. Because God gave me an instruction. And though that instruction didn't pan out, he sent better. I was thinking on it, and I'm like, man, when the Israelites were in the desert and God had Moses strike the rock for to get provision out of it so that water would flow out of it. I was thinking, I hit that rock and that rock didn't move, but provision still flowed. Provision flowed from that rock that didn't move. And so I really felt like, my God, how good is my God. I'm telling you, for years now, all my provisions have been stripped away. And my last provision got stripped away about a week and a half ago, and I got 4 kids to feed, and I didn't know how I was gonna make it. And I tell you, I have to give glory to God for it. Because if it was not for him, if he wasn't a promise keeper, if he wasn't a God that you could trust, and if he wasn't a God that loved us, if I was all alone in this world, I would be incredibly hungry. But you know what? My God is a provider. He is a strong tower. He is my refuge. I I considered applying for public aid again because I was feeling so desperate, but God said no. He said, no, that will be a snare for you. Don't do it. And so I held out, and I'm like, God, I know you're going to provide. I know you're going to provide. I know you're going to provide. And I'm crying my eyes out, waiting for the manifestation of some kind of provision. And I'm like, now that it happened, glory to my God. And of course the devil came in, because every time there's a miracle, the devil always wants to come in and grab the glory out of it. He always wants to eat it up so that your faith will fail you. But we're not going to let him do that, because let me tell you, if my God provided today, the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. My God provided today, he'll provide tomorrow. He fed Elijah by the brook with a raven. He commanded a raven to feed him. So if he could do that for him, he could do it for me. If God told me to go and tell this man, ask him to give me a discount, knowing that I'm going to a hard-hearted man who wasn't going to help me at all, but God had something there waiting for me. I just had to hit that rock. I just had to be obedient. I just had to be obedient and do what God told me to do, and there's my provision right there. So it's not by might, and it's not by power. It's by every word that proceeds out of his mouth. It's by his spirit. It's by his spirit that we live. It's by his spirit that we are fed, that we have breath. And I'm so thankful that my God is a promise-keeping God. I am so thankful for him. And Jesus, he said, give your testimony. He said, tell the people so that you can be made whole. And when you think about it, what wholeness is, what he's talking about there is so that you can have integrity, because integrity is a synonymous with wholeness, okay? And by definition, with Job and everybody, you can find that without God there is no integrity, right? So for me to be restored by myself is no good. It's no good for me to be restored by myself, okay? But for my testimony to plant a seed in someone else, where it can get watered and manifest, I can't be whole unless the people around me are whole. And they can't be whole because they don't have the seed. So my testimony gives them seed, So I got to testify. I got to tell people how great my God is, how he provided for me, how he makes a way out of no way, how he is Jehovah Jireh. He is the God who provides. He is the God of my peace, the God of my joy, the God of my hope, He is the lover of my soul, my first love, my best friend, the God that I trust in, and I believe that no matter what happens, I'm going to be alright, because my God has something for me. He's always got something for me. He loves me, and he's going to take care of me the same way he will do for you. You just got to believe. Just believe. My daughter, she's been on Luke 8 for like 2 months now. Goodness. But her favorite verses in there is, just believe and she will be healed. So sometimes you just gotta believe God for it. So all it takes is faith. Faith is what moves God. Your circumstances don't move God, but your obedience and your belief move him. You gotta trust God to bring the rain. He brings rain. When Elijah was calling for the rain, and there was no clouds in the sky, and then, appeared a cloud the size of a man's fist, and my God, he brought the rain, right? From there, you just gotta keep believing and keep believing and keep pressing, and God's on his way, God is gonna give you what you need. and He's going to give it to you when you need it. It may look like you're going to die because all you got left in your hand is a little bit of meal, a little flour. You might feel like death is knocking on your door, but God is a miraculous provider. He does miracles of multiplication. He'll stretch it for you. He'll bring you what you need. You don't have to be afraid as long as you trust in God. So I hope I inspired somebody today, sharing my faith and building yours. So y'all have a good day, okay?